This was my first ever mainline Final Fantasy game and I loved it, though there are quite a few noticeable problems. In Final Fantasy 15 you play as Noctis, a prince who sets out with his 3 bodyguards to travel to his wife-to-be. The car breaks down at the beginning of this journey and it's here where the friendship comes to life and you're introduced to the world of Final Fantasy 15. This game consists of 15 chapters and can be completed in less than 25 hours if you choose to stick to just the story. But there's so much to do that this probably won't be likely. The greatest part about Final Fantasy 15 is that it doesn't force you to play a certain way. You have the option to explore the world, do side quests, grind for XP and AP for your skill tree to balance out your party and skills, or go on epic hunts for dangerous monsters in return for some in-game currency to spend on items and gear. Or you can just stick to the story. It's up to you. Final Fantasy 15 to me felt like a very compact version of The Witcher 3. You're free to explore the different open worlds you visit, however the world feels a bit empty. Of course there's enemies around, but there's this ghost town feeling everywhere you go, whether it's a town or the forest that stops the open world from ever coming to life. And it could do with how restrictive exploration feels. The car, for example, stays on track, you can't drive it off-road and you don't even need to steer it. And when you're on foot, you can feel invisible walls all around you, stopping you from jumping onto or over items in the game, which does greatly break immersion. Even though it's the game's way of telling me not to go that way, there's nothing there. I still want to do it though. I appreciate the open world, but it doesn't breathe. There is a ton of life in the story though. It took me some time to love these characters, but I ultimately did. I cared for nearly everyone I came across, and this game did get some tears out of me. There's so many twists and turns here that shifts your perspective of characters. Some will become more important than you thought or less important. There were very few moments I predicted, and the campaign has a great deal of epic moments and boss battles. I'm not the biggest fan of the game's combat though. Don't get me wrong, I love the change from the turn-based to real-time, but the weapons you pick up don't feel unique. They don't feel powerful, and the controls just aren't intuitive enough to allow ultimate flow. It feels button mashy and enemies take way too long to kill for that button mashy feel to work. You can dodge, block, and parry, but it's so hard to read enemies and you're so focused on doing damage that by the time you go to block, it's too late. Combat isn't frustrating though. Your party can heal you and you can heal them where you or they are in danger. They'll also heal each other. There were many times one of my party members were in danger though and I couldn't find them to heal them. They didn't show up on the map and there's no name over their head or any indication at all where to go to save them, which ultimately led them to fall during battle, which definitely is frustrating. And my ultimate frustration comes down to button commands not being responsive enough. You have to hold square to take cover, hold X to dismount a chocobo, hold L2 to summon a champion, hold L1 or R1 to essentially go Super Saiyan for a short period of time. There wasn't a single hold whatever button command that would work on my first attempt. I'm trying to summon, I'm trying to crouch to regain my health, I'm trying to get off a chocobo, and it just wouldn't work. This is less annoying in the open world, but is insanely annoying during combat. This 100% needs to be patched. These commands should be way more sensitive and responsive than they are. And my warp attack.